before you allow all of these things into your life, before you can get what you want in the way you want it, you need to have full self-respect. Well, not full, because you're never going to have full self-respect.
Okay. Your values of self. What you want, what your dreams are, what you aspire for.
Self-respect. All of this all this self stuff. The self-improvement. You need to fully work on yourself. Get yourself to the highest point you can be currently, okay? See now, especially after you've just done something like terrible or like messed up or like, made a fool out of yourself, and now just a bunch of people are like, get a load of this guy. A bunch of people don't like you, especially after that type of stuff. Let's say it's like your first day of school. Before you can start trying to make friends, because people who are truly meant for you, friends, girlfriends, whatever, they're naturally going to come to you if you are the best version of yourself. See, now that's the kicker here. The outside world is on this side, and then your life is on this side, and then right between that there's a bridge. But you there are in charge of building this bridge. See now, the more you understand yourself, and the more that you care for yourself, the more that you build yourself up, the more that you're building that bridge up, and the stronger that bridge is. See now, you got cars going on this road. These cars may be people you want in your life, like friends, maybe this girl that you want, all that stuff. They're driving along this road, and if it's too weak, if you haven't built yourself up enough, if you're not, see now, building yourself up, I don't. It's not very clear when the point is. I don't think so. It's just important that you do it. That every day you make at least one step further in your progress. See, now I'm not you. I don't know what your progress is, but if you don't know what your progress is, you genuinely need to sit down with yourself, have a talk, be like, okay, why do I have this problem? Blah blah blah, and then trace that back to yourself. Why you personally have that, and if you can't do that, therapy, I guess. Anyways, so this bridge here, outside world, cars are coming in, always driving in from there, constantly. Every opportunity you've ever gotten is a new car on that road. See now, a weak road, a weak bridge connecting here. Here's a car going down it. And it crashes into your life in an unexpected and bad way, because it's crashing into you. It's like, oh god, ow, that hurt. Another car comes, doesn't even make it. It was going to come into your life, but because of the weakness, it didn't. Or because of the weakness, it crashed into you and gave you pain. Gave you hurt that you didn't want or expect, because you weren't working on yourself. You weren't building that bridge, that metaphorical bridge that allowed these things to come into your life that you want. See, now I probably haven't explained this in the best way, but I explained it in my way, and that's all that matters. See, now my Pikachu hat here, it's a little weird, but I don't care, because I have the self-respect to know that I'm rocking this hat, and it's looking good on me. And if people want to hate on me for my hat, they can, but I don't care. A big thing, you just gotta be yourself. That's a whole other topic, but okay, this whole you gotta keep this bridge in mind, because this bridge idea, I was cooking when I thought of this bridge idea. Immediately after I was sitting here reflecting with myself, I thought of this bridge idea. I immediately started recording. I was like, oh my god, I need to make a video about this, because this bridge idea is so influential. This is something that your therapists talk about. I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of this metaphorical bridge with the cars coming along it type type archetype, you know? You gotta think, man. If you want these people to cross the bridge and go into your life, you need to build that strong bridge so they can get there. Because if it's a weak bridge, if you have weak self-worth, if you don't think you're worth anything, phew, those cars, that bridge is going to fall under those cars' weight. It doesn't matter how big the cars are. What matters is the bridge that you make yourself, the bridge that you're active. So, you know, these cars may be in all shapes and sizes. Some may look heavier than others, harder to withstand on this bridge. But either way, if you got a fixed bridge, if you got a strong bridge, that's ready for any car that's coming its way. So that's ready for any car. Now back on my hat. Now I'm just kind of having a bad hair day today. I've been in a bit of a depression. I haven't really been doing a lot as much care into my hair as I usually do. But that's besides the point. You know, that's just all a part of improvement. You know, we're gonna have our ups and downs. But either way, if you're making one step each day, you're adding one more cement block on that bridge. And one more car has a chance of going down it. See, now, that's another thing. You can't immediately have your bridge set up. You have to take the time to build that bridge. Rome wasn't built in a day. A bridge is not built in a day either. You gotta go through a lot of different little meticulous things within the bridge building process, within the work within yourself. And that's gonna take a lot of time. Whether it's grieving or like planning or whatever you gotta do. I'm not here to figure that out for you. I'm just here for the bridge metaphor. You have to take the time to build this bridge so that these cars can cross and go into your life. These beautiful cars. Okay, let's say you have like a really hot coworker, but you don't have the courage. You slowly, over time, you build the bridge by going out, just talking to random people, getting rejected by random people, getting talked by random people, you know, talking to random people at your school, going up to random people, you know, saying all these things. You're talking to people online. Eventually, you'll have the confidence. You reach out to that girl, and she sees you as a confident 10 out of 10 striking man. Though if you tried on day one, you would have tried crossing that bridge, and you would have fell right through, landed on top of her, and she would have went, this guy's weird and doesn't seem very confident in himself. You know, that was kind of a bad metaphor, and bad metaphors ruin a good point. But I'm hoping you understand what I'm trying to like aim at here, because low-key, I'm like a philosopher.
I'm low-key the smartest person alive. It's like way late at night, and way late at night I become a powerhouse. I'm a little narcissistic, but it helps to have confidence in yourself. Just maybe don't be as confident as I am.
Because it did lead me down a few rabbit holes. You don't want to dig yourself into a hole. That is one thing. When building yourself up, when building your bridge, you don't want to go too much into it to where, like, you're killing people with how much you're making this bridge, like a Great Wall of China type thing. Because while you may be making great improvement, you don't want improvement to consume your life. You know, there's a fine line. With everything that you're ever going to do, there's a fine line between doing it and doing it too little. And those fine lines are something that are so hard to find. It's whatever, you know. People thought I was gay for the longest amount of time.
I just had to find the fine line between being too zesty
And being too straight. If that makes sense. And turns out I diminished that whole line just by not caring if they thought I was gay or not. Just by not being gay and not caring if they thought I was gay.
Completely eradicated it. it was gone. The last time I've had a talk like that with anyone, it's been way long. Anyways, I'm gonna go make some cereal and I'm gonna go to bed because recently I've been actually doing exactly what I told you guys not to do. I've been working on myself a bit too much, to the point where it's like been a little degrading to myself. You know, like where it's been like, oh, like shoot, my self-worth isn't that good, and I was staying up like 2 a.m. every night just journaling random worthless BS. So I'm trying to have a more consistent sleep schedule. You got to keep you in check. Whatever you're doing in your life, you got to do that for you, bro, Chacho. You can't be doing it for anybody else. I know some people think my Pokemon hat is weird. That's why I like continue to wear it, because like I don't give a fart what they say. You gotta not care what they say, and over time the growth process, it comes naturally. You definitely gotta push yourself, but no matter what, it's gonna come naturally. Unless you're actively making it worse, it is going to come naturally. Just by like talking to myself for a year, so much changed and so much has happened for the better, and it's great. It is just great. A lot of things, good things come naturally. Things that are meant for you will come to you naturally if you be yourself. If you don't be yourself, then things aren't going to come to you naturally. You know what? Because I don't care about what people think about me, I'm going to show you my bad hair that I washed, but maybe I didn't wash it enough. That's actually looking kind of greasy. This is actually a net low for me. See, now usually I keep my hair tip-top shape. But you're not seeing that here. Do I really care? No, this is just like one day where I wasn't really caring for myself. My hair gets really greasy. Like I got a lot of grease up there. So this isn't really out of the ordinary. If didn't really care for myself too much today. But it's okay. I'm a little depressed. I'm having that summertime sadness. I gotta leave, y'all. I can't have this video be in like 10 minutes. Y'all ain't gonna listen that long. You know what? Next time I see you, I'm not gonna have greasy hair. Next time I see you, I'm gonna be a baddie. I'm gonna be a 10 out of 10. And I'm gonna have actually put my shampoo in. Lakers